come repot this olive tree with me. You ready? First we need a pot. I got this for like $14.50 at Lowe's. That's our dirt. Okay. All right, you guys ready? All right, so I'm not gonna prune this thing at all this year. I'm just gonna put it into a bigger pot. It's very top heavy, as you can see. It likes to fall over when it gets above like 5 mph wind. So it needs to be potted up, and I'm gonna show you guys how we do it. All right, ready? So first, the pot. You take all the wrappers off, and then you have to poke the holes in it. Now, everybody tells you that you need to put like, you know, another pot within a pot or whatever. I don't do any of that. I mean, if you want to, you can get a pot, you know, that's about twice as big as this, and you can put it into a decorative pot, but why? And I mean, this is an arbequina olive, which is a fruiting olive. It survives in zone 8, which is where I am. But if you leave anything in a pot, it gets colder in the winter, and then, you know, it dies. So unless like the tag says that it's good for zone 6 and up, I bring it inside into my sunroom back there for the winter before the first frost. Now, a lot of these pots have these little spots over here, and they're usually not poked through. So like right now, the way it is, it doesn't have any drainage. So normally what I do is just take something sharp and just poke it. Yeah, now we have drainage holes. And I just make sure it comes off on the inside. And then we're good to go. And I've already taken the tags off. Let's talk about dirt for your potted plants. So I just buy a 50-pound bag of potting mix, and this one is like a slow release with nutrients and stuff like that. And then I get a bag of peat moss, and I put it in there. And then I also use the Osmocote, which is like smart plant food or whatever, and I just sprinkle, I'd say 2 or 3 tablespoons in a pot about this size, and I mix it all in before I plant the tree. And so I'm just gonna do that. First, I basically just measure it. So like, obviously if you plant it all the way down to the bottom, like it's gonna be way too deep. So you need to make sure like where the soil level is kind of an inch below the lip of this little guy. So in this case, I need about 6 inches of dirt on the bottom of this pot before I even put this plant in. I'm gonna pull this a little closer to the camera so that you guys can see just how much dirt is in here. Ready. Here we go. See, it looks like it's like halfway full, but what I do is just like, if it's too much dirt, I just make like a little trench in there, and make it so it fits. And then you just sprinkle the little plant food in there. All right. And then I just eyeball everything, honestly, guys. I used to complicate this stuff and have formulas and all that stuff, but if you think about it, every single thing that exists, even us, humans or whatever. Like we won a lottery just by existing, you know? You think about all the things that could go wrong in life and stuff, and so I don't try to control it. I let nature do its thing and let the plant do its thing, because the only thing it wants to do is live. And so you kind of have to respect that. So here's what I do. First, and this thing is very crispy because I haven't watered it in about 3 days, I pull this thing out. Now, some people will tell you to like tease the roots and massage them, or some people like take the dirt off completely and then replace the dirt completely, and I don't do any of that. Like I said, you just let the plant do what it wants to do, you know? And here's some things that you gotta keep in mind. So one thing for sure is to take off all of the things that bind it, you know, because a lot of times the plant is kind of choking. Now, if it is a grafted plant, you have to make sure that you don't put soil above the graft. That's one important thing, because you can stifle the plant. And then also, if you got roots coming out of everywhere, make sure you don't turn the roots or like put the roots in a circle. Make sure the roots are kind of going down like an octopus, because if you turn the roots or whatever, you can girdle the tree and basically choke it out. So we don't want to choke out trees. Yeah, so this thing is a little top heavy to one side, so I'm going to plant it a little bit sideways just to make sure it stays flat. And then after I get all the dirt in here, I'm going to water it in really well. And that's it. It's done. And then, so our first frost day is normally like first or second week of November. I'll bring them in before the next frost day. So let's finish packing the dirt. One more. Now make sure you guys wear gloves. I'm a big proponent of gloves because your hands will thank you for it. Like my fingernails are perpetually stained and I wear gloves. So you just kind of push it in. I don't like stomp it in, but I definitely like pat it in. And so the soil level is about 1 inch above the lip of this pot. And besides taking all the rest of the tags off and stuff like that, it's done. That's how easy it is. What is it, 5 minutes? I don't know how long it took, but less than 10 minutes. I'm gonna go get the hose. I'm gonna water it in, and then I'm gonna move it off to the side so it's not in the middle of my patio where my chip drop is gonna go. And that's it. So it's an arbequina olive tree, and I got it from the local nursery for 40 bucks. And it was about that size when I bought it.